Hey friends, Patrick Kirby here, Do Good Better Consulting. How on earth are you? Listen, for this second episode of 5 Fundraising Ideas in 15 Minutes, we had a guest lined up and we were ready to rock and roll, but this week kind of threw us a curveball, right, in the nonprofit world. So we're going kind of a little rogue with the ideas here. Heck, it's our show. We can do whatever the heck we want to do. But I wanted to talk about resiliency. We are sort of forced to be that currently. We are dealing with erratic and not really focused decisions that have out of our control, right? So it's only fair that we talk a little bit about that. So I wanted to come up with 5 just sort of interesting or unique ideas that you can take one or all that we can do to fundraise but also be resilient, right? Are we ready to kind of do this? I'm gonna ready to rock and roll. 5 ideas that you can do for fundraising. I'm gonna do it in 15 minutes. The clock always starts currently, which is now, okay? So we're talking a little bit about this. I got 5 ideas. The first one is I think you should consider as a part of your fundraising game plan, and talk about it or think about it over the weekend. You don't have to do it now, but just kind of take a couple of days. I think you should build a grit fund for emergencies. This whole grant process that we have seen sort of implode over the last couple of days, a couple of things. One, I think we all need to get our reserves in order and we need to take a look at our cash flow. It's just something that I think every nonprofit organization kind of had a oh crap moment. And I think it's just the right thing to do. It's your organizational's responsibility to kind of look at that. I think you should build a resilience fund. I think you should use it to weather unexpected funding freezes or economic downturns, or if your gigantic Bitcoin investment went awry, whatever the case may be. I think this actually makes a heck of a lot of sense. And just use it as any other fund that you have. You're going to find investors or donors or individuals in your community that just like the idea to pad this, just so you don't have to just freak out and you can maintain 3, 4, 5 months worth of funding in your back pocket. Now, if you're a multi-billion-dollar organization, it's going to take a little bit of work. But if you're a small, medium-sized nonprofit, there should be a number that you want to hit and just have. It's just something that you can look at. It's a piggy bank and an emergency fund kind of thing. It's a grit fund, okay? This encourages donors to do a couple of things. Number one, take immediate action that also has long-term sustainability in it, right? It makes unrestricted gifts that allow you to do with whatever you need to do that gets you through tough times. It's a great selling point, honestly, right? Where you're getting in front of somebody who is a business owner who understands about liquidity in their funds. They understand that you probably need flexibility in the ability to spend money. Every business owner understands this, right? So I think we should lean into that. Also, kind of market it as like an insurance policy against or for your policy or your organization's mission, right? An insurance policy for your nonprofit's mission. I think donors really love the idea of being a safety net for the safety net. Pitch it like that. I like this. Go with this. You're going to be a safety net for the safety net that we provide for the community, and you are a safety net for us to make sure that we can continue doing these services forever. I like that. Let's go with this. All right. So that's it. So build a grit fund for emergencies, a resilience fund, or whatever you want to do. We're talking about resilience today, right? Here's the second thing that I kind of came up with. We're going to talk through. I think this is a great time to rethink your monthly giving program. It's not monthly giving, it's resilient giving, okay? So we all know monthly giving is kind of like the gold standard. We all want to do it. Very rarely do we have the opportunity to either complete it, accomplish it. It's frustrating. It takes a little bit of time to build up. Monthly donors, though, they give you some predictable revenue. It helps sustain your organization during the most uncertain times. Probably now, right? So I think you can brand a monthly giving program as like a resilience focused theme, right? So whatever foundation club or the Unbreakables, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. You can kind of show the donors in this group, in this exclusive, we're going to give you monthly sort of group. It's the backbone of the mission. You're the ones that stick with us through the tough times, stick with us through some chaotic times. You are the backbone of our organization. You give monthly. You understand that this is our, we look at this account, we look at you as just being there always. I think people want to be the rock and the foundation for some of these things. I would even show the impact right away, right? So what a small consistent donation does over the course of a time, right? $25 feeds a family for a week. Your monthly gift does this for a month. This provides so many beds of shelter per month. Is your donation does that, right? Link the two together. Okay? Pitch it in a way that the donor gets to not only be the hero, right? However, they get to have their friends join and they get to say, okay, we're now going to be able to float or lift up this organization with just small amounts that you have periodically throughout the year. It's very hard to start. So I would say call your 10 most amazingly loving and consistent donors. Not your highest donors, save for a different day, right? Consistent donors. So the ones that show up, buy your tickets, go to the events, etc., find them. Start with them and go, hey, listen, we got an idea. I want you to be on the forefront of this. People take your lead. We want you to be a part of this. We thought of you first. Whatever sort of thing that you can get them to, not butter them up, just say it out loud. Say the thing that you think about with them out loud. You mean the most to us, and we'd love to try this with you. We think that if we get 50 people into this pool, a lot more will follow. You could be one of them, right? Get them in. Monthly giving is your resilient giving. Make sense? I know it does. Number 3, I think you should have like a no-quit fundraising challenge, right? Think of it as like a fitness challenge, right? We're all sitting there towards the end of the first month of the year. Most of us have quit our fitness goals already, right? 2 weeks ago was like a quit day, where most of us just stopped going to the gym. We're like, ugh, I don't want to wake up anymore, right? I think you have either like a fitness-based challenge, or you have some sort of thing where your supporters commit to like a personal endurance goal the same way that your organization does. Challenge them, do the same thing. Right? Everyone's looking for this ice bucket challenge thing that from years ago. Like, what does this look like? Right? Do a 90-day push-up challenge. Right? This is the push through. We're not going to quit challenge. Right? Again, focusing on resiliency. Participants, donors, supporters, everybody can kind of raise funds through either sponsorships. Maybe they dare you to do X amount of push-ups or jumping jacks or whatever it is. They join you. We're all getting healthy at the same time. But it's this idea that whatever the thing is that's hard to do, you as donors, you as an organization continue to do it with the support and the cheerleading of others, right? So it doesn't really matter what it is. Sit-ups or miles run or walked or steps or calls or letters written, whatever it is. What do you do that you would normally quit at, and how can you face your fears or face this community and say, I'm going to challenge myself to do this, our organization to do this? What would you help us promote this? Number 1. Number 2, would you challenge us with a dollar amount? Okay. You can basically highlight physical resiliency, and we're talking about the end of the first month, right? Because everybody's, bailing on their fitness goals and they're already going to fast food restaurants 3 times a week, whatever the case may be. Connect the physical resilience with the financial resilience, right? Every rep, every step, every mile, it fuels the cause. This can be a really interesting and kind of fun deal where you are this peer-to-peer, let's get everybody on the same team, same squad kind of thing, actually makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. And if you can embrace this challenge going forward, I think it's going to be amazing, right? So the no quit challenge, whatever you're not doing correctly, or you're not doing, or you maybe quit on, or you find difficult, do it. Challenge your donors to give to you to maintain your momentum and whatever, and rock and roll forward, okay? 4th thing, I like the idea of a fund the future impact pledge, or something along those, right? So let's move back from this is a crisis mode. I blogged about that too this week, and I think it resonated with a lot of people. What is a proactive, future focused fundraising plan that you can start crafting, right? Donors do not want to be inundated with everything's going to hell, everything's going to hell, everything's a crisis, everything's an emergency. It's a tired trope in the fundraising world, and especially when everybody is saying the sky is falling. Even if the sky is falling, people still want to connect with or find a positive message that is just getting away from everything is burning and everything is fine to what are we going to do about it? What are we freaking gonna do about it? So this Fund the Future, this impact pledge thing that you can sort of promote, I think makes a heck of a lot of sense, especially when people are just trying to figure out how. Okay, so ask your donors to like maybe pledge your support, not just today, but for sustainable growth. That's the messaging you shift to, right? So you emphasize how nonprofits, they have to be resilient for the long haul. It's not just a quick fix. You're not out there asking for gifts to patch or band-aid up. You are projecting that. We don't want to get caught flat-footed. This has kind of been a wake-up call where we might want to just balance out how we raise money, and you can be a part of this, right? It's almost this legacy-style giving campaign that you see a lot of hospitals and organizations who have to do with education have, right? But it's encouraging your donors to think long-term rather than just short-term, right? You're taking the short-term emergency and you're transitioning it into this, oh, okay, maybe we can think about a little bit more long-term. So you can talk even bigger gifts at this point, right? So use this, crap, what's happening to start reaching out to some of your larger donors, right? And we're not talking about number 2, which is this, small giving campaign. Now you can actually talk to your long-term donors and saying, hey, listen, we know you've been a supporter of us for a very long time. Your gift of $1,000 every year really makes a difference. Would you consider a gift of $1,500 this year so that we put $500 into this Fund the Future pot? That we need your $1,000 and we just value it so much because it allows us to open our doors and continue the mission that we're doing. This additional $500 is going to be put away in this particular Fund the Future fund. Fund the Future fund. Goodness, you could tell it's like the end of the week already, right? This Fund the Future pot, where just in case something happens, just in case shenanigans economically happen, we are allowed the flexibility to just breathe for a moment and not worry about shutting down, okay? I think that actually makes a lot of sense. And again, it gives you another thing to talk about for your major donors. All right, last one, okay? Small business partnerships for strength. I mean this. Resiliency is not a solo sport, it's a team sport at this point, right? I've been sounding the alarm on we need to partner in 2025. It's going to be my mantra here at Do Good Better. We're going to grab as many partners as possible to bring you as many perspectives and ideas and opportunities for learning on how to do all this kind of stuff. Same thing with you. Don't rely on the same groups of people that you keep going back to. So I think strengthening your nonprofit by partnering with local businesses, either for donation matching or revenue sharing events or roundup campaigns at checkout or whatever the case may be, how do you find like-minded individuals who love your mission, who are aligned beautifully with what you do, and how can you phrase this as an opportunity for you to show as much love as they show to you and vice versa, okay? And I think local businesses who also need a pump up in an economy like this are going to want to partner with other people. Local businesses latch on to your nonprofit. Your supporters who are rabid about your success will then be rabid about a small local business. And now you share this passion together. It's great. You can offer recognition packages. That's fine. You stand with our nonprofit. We're going to stand with you. Small businesses stand with our organization during really difficult or turbulent times. However you want to phrase that, that's great. But really just ask the question, how would you like us to partner with you? Like, don't assume. Ask them, right? And then again, you can frame it as this kind of we're stronger together bit, which, by the way, is true, okay? So when nonprofits and businesses unite, the entire community thrives. They stand with us. We stand with them. I think it's a really good opportunity for you to then go back to your other corporate partners and say, hey, listen, we tried this with some small local businesses. It seemed to work. They're really receptive to it. What do you think about building our messages of resiliency together? Again, I don't think of this as this unbelievable tragedy that might befall us. I think of this as an opportunity to kind of look at where we are and say, hey, I've got an idea. I've got a way out. I've got these thoughts that I think we can actually kind of create together. What does this look like if we just partner up? Businesses, especially small businesses who are also looking for something like this, are going to eat this up because they want someone to talk to. They want someone to expand their potential selling base to whatever. I think it makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. Business, as a small business owner, I think this makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, if I'm approached by a nonprofit and say, hey, we want to partner up, I think that actually sounds like a great idea. So again, it's a team sport. Don't think you have to solo it alone. Offer some recognition, but ask the questions. And look at this, 15 minutes. Boom. Love it. Look at this. Tips for you, and you haven't even spent 15 minutes with me. Okay, so again, your 5 fundraising ideas in 15 minutes here. Build a grit fund, right? Whatever your resilience fund is, build one of those. It's a great way to sort of encourage donors to be long-term. Your monthly giving, right? So predictable revenue for you, it's resilience focused theme for them. And they say, okay, if my 25 bucks do this, I know what I'm going to do. Be very clear. Do your no quit fundraising challenge. What's difficult that you want to spend to the world and say, hey, listen, I think this is hard. I want you to help us fund because we're going to do it and we're going to keep ourselves accountable. We're going to show up every day, do our push-ups, sit-ups, jogging, 10 miles, 20,000 steps, whatever that is, do it. And I think it makes a good theme because it's in January and everybody quit, right? Fund the Future Impact Pledge, right? Shift your message away from this is always a crisis. Everybody pay attention to me. Everything's dying and everything sucks. To what are we doing proactively? Where are we future focused? And go. Sustainable growth is key here. And then finally, let's talk a little bit about small business partnerships. Who are your rock star friends and neighbors and colleagues and community members that also need an uplift? Match them. That sounds good. That's it. Okay, we did our 5 fundraising ideas in 15 minutes. This is episode 2. I know it's a little bit wonky because we don't have a guest today, but it was an emergency, and I feel like this is going to make a lot of sense. What do you think? Drop a comment. What else are you doing? What other fundraising ideas can we do to sort of emphasize resiliency? We'll see you next week for 5 fundraising ideas in 15 minutes.